Alrighty, so we want to look at these interactive practice items. I'll try all of them. I see the title up there was I needed to fix that. Slopes represented in tables. Well, really it's just slopes. It's really all about lines. So this page links with interactive practice and working with lines. I'll maybe someday get that fixed. But okay, let's try the first one. So we pop up a window and it wants us to come up with the equation of the line. Well, we need a slope and an intercept. And for my slope, what I can do is just count. I look for where the line goes through a corner, and I can I can kind of zoom in to look. Actually, okay, so it looks like it goes through 0, 1 there. This is kind of interesting. The picture doesn't look great. I mean, if I had to say it went through one of these corners, I'm not sure it does. So we'll have to, oh, there we go. There it is. So it goes through that corner. So it just makes my life a lot easier if I can find that. And so, I start at 0, 1 right there. So if I do that, it shows me that point 0, 1. And up here, I don't know if I can get it to stay on that point, but it looks like it's what, about 8, 6. There we go. It doesn't really stay there very well. But so I go from 0, 1 to 8, 6, and I can count over. So I start at 0, I come over here, I go 8. That is the bottom. There is x, changing y over changing x. The change in y was at 6. I started at 1. So I can count up and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 5. And my y-intercept, I can see it crosses at 1. So I do that and check my answer. Yes, I was correct. Great. I can look here. Well, maybe I can. I can look here at the solution. So, it says I went up 5 units, went to the right 8 units. So that's 5 over 8. The slope is 5/8. It crosses the y-axis at y equals 1. So the y-intercept 0, 1. And so I get 5/8 x plus 1. Okay, so again, just to kind of talk about this just a little bit more, all I'm doing is I've got some line going like this. I want to look at that point and see what that is. That's my y-intercept 0 and something. And, I'm just going to count on my grids. Say it looks something like this, then, I look there and that was 2 units, say there. And I look here and that's 3 units. So I have a slope of 2/3. And again, if I know that happens to maybe be at 2, then my intercept is 0, 2. And so I would have y equals 2/3 x plus 2 in slope-intercept form. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm going to hit the eraser here and get rid of all that before I go to the next one. So let's look at the next one here, go back to that, and okay, so I got that one right, and I'll close this window. So here, I want the equation of the line. I'm given the slope and I'm given the y-intercept. So the slope is -3, it says. So I just do -3x. And y-intercept of 4, so I just put in a 4. Check my answer. Yep, okay, I got that one correct. And again, I can look at this. It doesn't say much on this one. It just says, you know, the answer is -3x plus 4. Okay, so that's that one. Third one. So here it says determine the equation of a line that has a slope of 2 and passes through the point 6 minus 9 in point slope form. Oh, there's a little extra slash there. Sorry about that. So point slope form, I need a slope here. So that's my 2. Now, and then my x minus a point's x value. So that's 6. And then my -9 for the y value here. So added to the y value. And so I have 2x, well, 2 times x minus 6, and then plus a -9 or -9. Check my answer. It was correct. I can look at the solution. Well, maybe I can. There we go. And again, this one doesn't say much because pretty much I'm just placing in the numbers I see. There's not really much to calculate. Just put it in and make sure I get things in the right order. So close that. Okay, now determine the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. I'm really not sure why I've got 2 different size boxes to fill in the slope, but I want to put it in point slope form, and my points are 4, 1, and 18, 8. Okay, so 4, 1, and 18, 8. So I have a point 4, 1 and a point 18, 8. And I want this in point slope form, so I need a slope. Well, slope, again, is my change in y over change in x. So I think I'll take this point and subtract that point. So 8 minus 1 over 18 minus 4. That is 7 over 14. So I could use 7 over 14. That would be fine. Or I could use a half, because 7 over 14 is a half. Okay, so I have my slope, and then I just pick one of my 2 points, 4, 1 or 18, 8. Well, I like the 4, 1, it's smaller. So I go back here, and I had a slope of a half or 7 over 14. So let's try a half. Let's just see what happens here. Make sure things are all working okay. And then x minus the x value, so I'll do a 4. And here I'll put in a 1 and check my answer. Good. Okay, I got that correct. Now, I could go back in here and try 7 over 14 and check my answer. And see, it still says it's correct. It's happy with that. And let's look at the solution. And so there we see our slope, 8 minus 1 and 18 over minus 4, 7/14, and it just leaves it as 7/14. And we could have used either point, so we could have what I did, which was the that one, the x minus 4 and the plus 1, or we could have used that one and done the x minus 18 and the plus 8. Okay. So let's close that and close this. Number 5. Okay, same sort of thing. Determine the equation that passes through the line with points 1 and -1 and 2 and -2. But this time put it in slope-intercept form. So 1 and -1 and 2 and -2. So let me erase this stuff. Okay, there we go. So we had 1 and minus 1 and 2 and minus 2. So first we need a slope, and so the slope, I can do my minus 2 minus, now be very careful, minus a negative 1, and then divided by the 2 minus 1 for the x's. And so that's a minus 2 plus 1. That makes that a negative 1 over 1. Okay, so our slope is just negative 1. And then I can use either point, but it's not the point slope form. So I actually have to, at this point, what I have is y equals minus 1 times, and if I use this first point, I have x minus 1 plus a negative 1. And so if I multiply through, this is negative x plus 1, and then plus a negative 1. That looks to be 0. So it looks like I just have a negative 1x or a negative x. So let's go try that. I can put that in by doing a negative 1. And I guess I'll have to divide by 1. And then here, plus 0. Let's see how I did. And it says I am correct. Imagine that. Okay. And so there it has us finding the slope of the negative 1. And putting that in, and we get our negative 1 over 1, and then a plus 0. Okay, so that's 5 of them. Let's close this window. And the 6th one. Okay, so I'm given some data. Determine the line represented by y versus x. Now, what I can do is, since I have data, maybe what I want to do is plot it. And so this could take me a moment, but so I have 20 and negative 30. So here's my decimals calculator. And what I want to do is just add a table. And then this might be, okay, 20 and negative 30. Okay, and then I can, oops, wrong spot. There we go. 71 and negative 81. So 71 and negative 81. And 146 and negative 156. 146 and negative 156. So see, I can plot these data now. I don't see them over here at this point, but if I kind of move things around, there they are. Okay, so there are 3 points. Now they appear to all be in a straight line. I really ought to add the rest, but let's, given that these just look like they're in a straight line anyway, I really just need to take 2 of the points. So I'm going to take maybe the 20 and negative 30 and the 71 and 81. Now I could go back to my tablet and do this by hand, but I've got a calculator right here. So I could do my change in y. Now I'm going to put the parentheses around it. So I have the minus 81, and then I need to subtract, and then remember it's a minus 30. Okay, so I have that, and close that parenthesis, and then if I hit my divided by, then my 71 minus 20. and I get a slope of -1. Okay, so there is my slope of -1. And now notice I could put this into a point slope form. I could say y equals my -1, okay, times x minus, and what was that again? 20 is my x value. And then plus, and what was my y? -30. So minus 30. And notice I can check the line goes right through there, so that's fine. Okay, so I have that. Now my y-intercept, again, I can just do that. Here I can say that my b equals, so I'll go here and say b equals, and so I have the -1 times -20, so I'll do that. -1 times -20, -20, okay, and then plus the -30, and I get a b of -10. Well, so that says if I do y equals, and my slope was -1, so -1 times x, and then plus the -10 or -10, but I'm going to do plus a -10. And notice that green line goes right over the other one. So I got it right. So you can use Desmos to check your answers with points and that sort of thing. We could have done that back with the other ones. We could have plotted those points in here and then checked our answers to see that the line really does go through those points. So I get -1 x and a -10. So here we have -1 x and -10. And I'll check my answer. Yes, I am correct. And I can show the solution. So that shows me getting the slope. It shows us getting the b here. Now, that's interesting. I'm not sure why I put it in that order with the y and then the minus the -1 times 20, but I did, I guess. And so we see our -10, and there's our answer, y equal -1x plus a -10. And sure enough, we got it right. Okay, so that is, at least at this point, going through all, let me close this window, all of these practice links. Okay, so hopefully that helps.